Hi there, welcome back to JD Answers. Today I have the Orbit 956 dashcam. This is a front and rear dashcam. And I'm going to show you step by step on how I install this on my vehicle. That way you'll know exactly what to do and how to install it on your vehicle. The first step you want to do is get your dash cam, and then what you want to do is take off the protective covering from the dash cam. Next, you want to get your micro SD card that is sent to you, and you want to go ahead and install it to your dash cam. Alright, now you're ready to install your SD card. So you want to make sure the SD card is facing the back of the camera, and then you simply just insert it in there. Use your nail to push it in there, and it's spring loaded where it'll come in and out. That's how you do it. Next, you want to figure out where are you going to put the dash cam. Now, if you really don't want to look at it, it's just going to be a tool for you to drive. And then when you need it, you could just simply pull out the micro SD card. You could put it right underneath the rear view mirror. But if you want to look at it at times and take advantage of the features, then you want to lower it where you could see it at this point. So that's where we're going to put it, right there. All right, now it comes with this protective screen. Now, before you put this protective screen on, you want to make sure that the micro SD card is inserted, which we already done that. All right, make sure your glass is clean on the inside, which I already done that as well. All right, we're going to take this off, and we're going to position this to exactly where we want to put the dash cam, which was 2 inches below. And I'm good right there, and I'm just gonna push that in, just pretty much like when you put a protective covering on a cell phone. That's pretty much what you want to do. You want to get all the bubbles out. A lot of times you can simply just use a credit card and just go down on it right there. Start from the top and work your way down. All right. Next, you're ready to install your dash cam. And you want to do is make sure you take off that blue protective covering from the 3M adhesive. All right, I got it off. The blue part is gone. And now I can simply mount it in that square there. All right, the dash cam is on, and you can see that protective covering around there if you can. I know it's kind of hard. And it's already mounted and ready to the wires to be installed next. But I really don't like that protective covering. If you want to use it, that's up to you. I don't really like these. I like to just put the adhesive to the window shield. Now, this is easier when you want to uninstall this. For example, you could just simply pull off one area if you have the nails, and it will simply just slide off like that. And then you just grab it, pull it, and it comes off. That's how you take these off. I don't like the protective covering, so I'm going to go with the mount itself. All right, so now I'm going to install it without the protective covering because I'm not a big fan of those. So I'm going to put it about right there. Just make sure it's straight from this point of view. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and start installing the wires on this. All right, now we're ready for the wires. I'm going to go ahead and start with the power cable. What you want to do is you want to unwind it and take all that out first. All right, I got the cable here. It's all unwinded because if you have it confined together, the weight of the wire will pull all your installation out. We're going to move our mirror up so we could probably get some room in there to see. Now we could go ahead and install the power cable. And now we could route our wire to the headliner. Okay, we have our power cable, and we're going to go up. And what we're going to do is we're going to go towards the driver's side and then route the wire on top of the rear view mirror. And then we're going to go to our headliner. Now, between the window shield and the headliner, there's about a 1/8 to 1/4 space that you could use. And all you simply do is tuck in the wires. So I have it here, and I'm just going to push the wire underneath. And that's all I'm doing there, is pushing it underneath. And then this pry bar, you could use that to help you tuck the wires more in there. All right, now we could continue routing the wires by simply pushing them underneath the headliner. I'm pretty much using one hand and pushing it the rest. All right, I'm going to continue with the wires. Again, I'm holding it with one hand and then pushing it in with the other. Okay, at this point, we're going to use this A pillar to hold the wire for us. So from the A pillar at this point, we could pull this off a little bit, and then we could get the wire and push it right underneath there. And that's going to hold the wire for us. So at this point, we could go ahead and continue routing the wire up, and then finish up on the corner here. All right, and then you won't be able to see any of that wire in there. It's all hidden. That's why you don't need those other clips, because all our installations, they're always hidden. Now we could go ahead and start this point. So from this point, you got two ways to do it. You could simply push this down a little bit and just pretty much route your wire between the A pillar and the weather strip. Or you could simply take off the weather strip, and which is simply a pull down function here, and you could get the wire installed all the way down to where you need it. And all you do is simply just push it back. That's it. Now from here, I could go ahead and just route the wire, and you can see how it's already going down. Once I have it installed, I could go ahead and put the weather strip back. And when I get to this part, I simply just pull this weather strip out more, and I'm just going to push this wire between the kick plate and the top of the dashboard there, and just route the wire that way. The wire's inside, so all I got to do is push the weather strip back and just carefully working it back the way it was. And where you put the weather strip is the metal frame to the A pillar, the metal frame to the dashboard. That's pretty much what you're doing. So from this point here, we're going to start routing the wire behind this carpet. So from this point here, where we're at the end, we're going to work our way and just go straight into the power socket. So what we're going to do is connect this first, and then we'll continue routing the wire, because we want the slack behind the carpet over here. All right, we're at the end here, so what we're going to do is go ahead and continue routing the wire and put it into the power socket. We're going to go ahead and connect that first. Okay, now we're ready to install the power socket. But this power socket stays on all the time. That's why I added this one. And if you need to know how to install a power socket, I'll put a link on the top right for you. So let me open this one up, and we'll simply connect that one in. From this point, we're simply just going to push the wire back, and we're going to push it behind all the way back here. All right, we're going to get our wire, and we're simply going to go back, and we're going to put it behind this plate. And you can see most of these plates just simply pull out. So when this plate comes out, we're going to push the wire underneath it completely. That way it's holding it back. And then the rest of the slack, we're simply just going to push it behind the carpet. And now you can see there's no wires visible. All right, I got the rear camera plugged in. What I'm going to do now is, because I'm going to go to the driver's side. So what I need to do now is route the wire from the passenger side to the driver's side. And I'm going to route the wires exactly the way I did on this side. So I'm going to continue now at this point. I'm on the driver's side on the A pillar. And now what I'm going to do is grab this wire before we move on. And I'm going to use the B pillar here, and I'm just going to pinch it in, and that's going to hold the wire so I could continue routing it underneath the headliner there. From this point, rather than taking the weather strip off, this car I'm able to just simply push it in between the weather strip and the headliner. From this point, I'm going to push the wire, that way from the B pillar it's facing out and I could route it behind the headliner. So I'm working my way up from the front seat to the back seat, and this B pillar is going to continue holding the wire. Simply grab the wire from one hand and you could simply just push it in all the way underneath. And from this point, you could continue putting it behind a pillar, and it goes out to the weather strip where we were at before. And you can see I put it on the other side. And I'll show you a different angle of that. All right, you can see where the wire's here. And we're going to continue working it underneath the weather strip and the headliner. And from this point here, again, this is the C pillar now. This is towards the back window. And remember, we're not going outside. On this dash cam, you go inside. I'm going to push this C pillar down a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is work the wire and put it behind there. And it's going to go up. I'm sorry, out. Because last time we had it going in. This time we're having out because it needs to go out into the vehicle on this side. All right, so now we're going to clean this area up and we can work our way into the inside. All right, since this is an installation that goes inside the vehicle, again, we're continue running the wire here. We're going to go up this pillar, and that way we're in the headliner. All right, we got that part done. And now we're going to route our way up. I'm going to pull that down. And from here, you can simply push that wire more in. You could use that blue pry bar to pry it in more. That way it doesn't stick out like this. All right, got the blue pry bar. I'm pushing it in. Now at the same time, you could also do this. You could push it out because these things snap out. And you could push it more in. And I like this part better. And that way I could pretty much snap these back and they're ready to go. Just like we did on the front dash cam installation, we're going to go up underneath the headliner. Now you can see we have a lot of slack. Now all we got to do is pretty much put it underneath the headliner. There's a lot of space under there you could use. So we're going to go ahead, before we move on here, is connect the dash cam. We're going to install that. All right, I got it pretty much centered. You see how the center of the middle seat, I'm going to center it right there on top. It go as close as I can to the headliner and just push it in there. And then I could simply adjust this camera. This is the way it looks on there. And you can see how it's centered to the seat. And then when I'm here, I could simply just adjust the camera like this. I'm going to go ahead and connect the cameras together, the camera wire and the camera cord. Simply just push it together and turn, and it'll simply fall in place. And just like we did the front windshield, I'm going to put it underneath the headliner. And actually I can see there's a lot of space. So I'm going to see how much I could get back there. There's a lot of space right here. I didn't even notice that. So I'm going to put a lot of that wire behind there. And from this point, what I do, I'm going to route the wire again like this. You can see how I folded the wire, and I'm simply going to push it back in there. Because there's a lot of space. There's really nothing in there. Now don't push it down too hard, because then you pull it out. All right, and you can see how the wire is already in there, and you cannot see any wire on the inside. And we go to the outside, You can't see anything. You can barely see that camera right there. All right, so now let's go ahead and start this vehicle. And it should be coming on just momentarily. There you go, you hear it on. All right, there you go. You can start seeing the driving footage. This was a pretty quick installation. And it's really not hard, because with this vehicle, I simply tucked in the wires behind the weather strip. But taking off the weather strip is not very hard as well. For more information about this dash cam, for the review, the unboxing, and the menu review, hit that subscribe button and select all notifications for all upcoming videos, because I got additional videos of this coming soon, even the GPS player and the app for this dash cam. If you're interested in purchasing this item, I'll put links in the description down below. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below and I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.